Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of the Wraparound. And we finally have some new matchups to talk about. Montreal swept Winnipeg. We asked you guys if you thought they were going to sweep, and I think majority of you guys said yes. Was that
Yeah.
what the answer was? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of those who actually said yes as well. Or no, I think I said no actually because I was hoping, or just like I thought Winnipeg was going to win one. Either way, that's not important now. Montreal is in one of the conference finals.
The Wraparound with Grace, Alessia, and Marjorie.
And first, we're going to mention some news that just happened, which is that, who was it?
The New York Rangers are going to hire Gerard Gallant. We're uber prepared today.
Yeah.
We had a very long conversation. No need to talk about what it was, but let's just say it was very important. That's why we started a little late today. But yeah, let's talk about Vegas and Montreal. They still haven't played their first game. We're recording on the 14th, and they're playing their first game tonight at 9. So by the time you guys listen to this, you'll know who's won the first game of the series. But come on, guys, what do you think viewers should expect from both teams?
I think that the listeners of our podcast should expect Alessia and I to stop being friends by the Stanley Cup final. Because we made it through Montreal and Toronto. Our friendship went unscathed.
We did.
We did. We survived that one.
That was good.
That was a true test of friendship right there.
For sure.
A second matchup. I don't know if we'll
have high hopes for you guys. I'm the neutral third party here, so I'll keep you guys together.
I think I'm just happy like Montreal made it this far, so I don't think it's gonna be as bad as Habs versus Leafs. And
I'm just happy to be here.
Same. I'm just like, I'm just like really happy to be here.
Living life.
Like no matter the outcome.
This is the worst part, is that our logo has a Leafs jersey, a Habs jersey, and a Vegas jersey on it. Doing the math, really only the Vegas jersey should be here right now.
Yes, technically. And if the Leafs had played their cards right, it would have been them too. But
yeah, so this is going to be an interesting couple weeks for Alessia and I.
And we do our recordings on Zoom, and right now Grace's background is Marc-Andre Fleury. So connecting to that, this is going to be a battle of the goalies. We all know Carey Price has been incredible, and Marc-Andre Fleury has been as well for Vegas. So it's going to be a really fun series in terms of watching goaltending, for sure.
I didn't get a chance to yell at Vegas last week about how stupid it was to put Leonard in for that one game.
Didn't you? Didn't you yell about that?
I didn't get to yell at them because I didn't know the outcome of the Fleury game. I was like, if Fleury goes in and he's worse, then it's a justified decision. If Fleury goes in and they win, then I'm going to be angry. And I didn't get a chance to be angry, but I'm not going to rehash that now. I'm just going to send a message to the Vegas Golden Knights that if Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't play one of the games this series, I might implode.
If Marc-Andre Fleury is not in, then Montreal's winning without a doubt. Against Toronto, Montreal, I think it was a combination of Toronto just playing bad and Montreal like capitalizing on that. In the Winnipeg series, Montreal showed that they're a little bit more than just Carey Price. They played a great overall game as a team. And so now we have to kind of see what this third round means for them, if they can connect the dots and continue the goaltending and continue the team instead of maybe getting bad goaltending and a good team, or a bad team and good goaltending. You kind of want to see them stick, keep the two connected.
Yeah, I think like in this series, like it's been with past series, Montreal is considered the underdogs because like most people expect, like a lot of people weren't expecting them to get this far. I personally wasn't either, so this is kind of like a little happy moment for me. But we've seen Montreal thrives being the underdogs. They have a lot of belief in themselves. The young guys are continuously learning from the vets, so I'm just like really excited to see if they can take it to the next level, because Vegas is a very good team. They finished top of the league, basically. I think pretty sure they finished second in the league this year. So
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So first for Grace.
Great.
If Vegas loses this series, what do you think this means for them?
If Vegas loses this series, I'm actually kind of glad you asked this question because it gives me a perfect leeway into the one statistic I prepared for this episode. In all of Vegas's past seasons, since 2018, they have never made it past the conference final. They made it to the conference final. They lost in the first round. They made it to the Stanley Cup final, not in that particular order, but I don't know how to say words. And they haven't made it past the conference final. So I think, like, in a way, in their short team history, that is a bit of a thing for them to beat, maybe, perhaps. You know, one thing about Vegas is that they're consistent until they aren't. And they've been like that for the entirety of the past 4 years. And so I think that if they win this and go on to the final, it's really going to be a game of, can they do it? Nobody knows until they hit the ice for that next series. But, you know, I think it's a good test because they do have a good core group of the same players they've had for the past 4 years. I don't know. I'm excited to just see if they make it past the conference final.
Well, just to add to that, I think like Vegas is a type of team that knows how to deal with adversity. And that's kind of a difference between them and the Avalanche. Because last series, the Avalanche, you know, they're coming in confident and then they hit a roadblock and they really don't know how to deal with it. So I think the Vegas Golden Knights are really good at dealing with adversity. You know, they came back in the series. And they're also a really deep team, like Grace mentioned. So for the Canadiens, like, just to say, if you're looking at Vegas's lineup, they have Alex Tuck on the third line. So what does that mean for Montreal? That a guy like Josh Anderson needs to start scoring soon, because I feel like once he scores that first goal, he's going to open up, and it's going to be a good matchup between their third line and our third line. So that's like the only thing.
So Alessia, what do you think winning will mean for the Habs?
I mean, winning against the Leafs already meant a lot. Like, I'll just put it out there. Like, I've said this so many times. I was not expecting this team to go this far. Like, if you would tell me Montreal would go further than Colorado this year, I think I'd laugh in your face a couple months ago. Like, that's where I am right now. But it would mean a lot to this team because a lot of people underestimated them. I could personally say I did too. They've been called the underdog so many times.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
I think like on paper they're a good team, and maybe against like the Leafs, nobody saw them coming out on top. But I think after game 5, there's just a whole new mentality. Like, you see it in the press conferences. The guys are like, nobody believes in us, but we believe in ourselves. So, you know, having a team, maybe there's not a whole lot of all-stars. Like, obviously we have Carey Price, but it's like that playoff mentality that some teams, like, they're good on paper, but it's getting to that point, that mentality to start taking it to the next level that maybe they lack. That could be something for the Leafs too. Like, on paper, they're an amazing team, but do they take it to that next level in the first round? Like we've seen, like, no.
I can't even judge. I don't have a good playoff mentality, so.
I think the pessimism definitely worked in Montreal's favor. I think they definitely took that and ran with it. To the second matchup, which is Tampa Bay versus New York. Another great matchup. And as all you guys know, New York is leading the series 1-2-0. And I think they're playing the second game, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow. That was a really weird face. I don't know why I had to do it like that, but that's life. Another great matchup. What do you guys think that the audience should expect from both teams, or what's surprising you? Yeah, tell me your thoughts.
We took the Bruins.
Yeah, we did.
And obviously our prediction wasn't correct, but it's okay. I think the second round we kind of had like the wraparound jinx come back at us, but we'll just put that aside.
Yeah.
But you know, the Islanders we had Boston as a potential top 4 team, and they beat Boston. So this is a really good Islanders team against Tampa. And the first game, it got off to a rocky start, considering the Islanders probably did want to get back at Tampa and beat their opponents. And the Lightning were effective in, you know, getting shots from different directions, different angles, but it just wasn't enough. Second period comes Matt Barzal, of all players, like, huge player for the Islanders, opens the scoring, going 5-hole on Vasilevsky. And, you know, the Lightning, I think the one thing I can say in game 1 is they had a really good penalty kill and a good power play, because the only goal for them came at the end of the third period from Braden Point on the power play, but it was too little too late. So if they want to get back in the game, back in the series in game 2, penalty kill has to be great, and the power play has to be great as well, because the Islanders beat a very good Boston team, so you can't underestimate them. And like I mentioned last episode, it'd be really nice to see a different team in the finals. So I'm hoping Islanders pull through.
So what do you think losing will do to Tampa Bay?
I don't think it will do much, because I think they're right where they want to be. Like, they're a great team, and they've accomplished a lot in the last couple of years, so it's nothing to be sad about if they don't make it out of this conference finals. Like, they're still a top 4, like they were still a top 4 team, so it's not like burn the whole team down. It's more like, okay, we'll come back next year and be stronger. Like, they just won a Stanley Cup. It's really hard to back that up again. So,
and what will winning mean to New York?
We talk about mindset all the time, and the Islanders are an incredible example of that. They're able to hold on through those tough games where they have to battle back and come back and win. Winning is just going to prove that they've put together a great team in terms of leadership on and off the ice. Like, and you know, you say that and it sounds cheesy, but like, really, they did beat Boston, which was an incredibly tough team to beat, and they did it without any like sappy storylines. I don't know how else to put it. This series is gonna turn out to be a battle for both teams, because if the Islanders do get down on themselves, Tampa will be able to come back and beat them. So I think if they win, it's just a testament to that mindset and to that skill that they have off the ice.
Great observations. I mean, it's exciting to kind of go week by week and, you know, eliminate teams and, you know, talk a little bit more in depth about certain teams and really analyze these games better, because obviously at the beginning there's only so much we can say about each team before like our episodes get to like 2 hours long. Like, it's really hard to talk about like hockey and have like a really deep analyst like kind of perspective on this. So it's exciting to kind of get to the conference finals, talk about this, and then by the time we get to the Stanley Cup finals, it's going to be even better, because now we can analyze pretty much everything and nitpick everything from each team. But yes, great talk about all of these matchups so far. And we're going to end off with, of course, my question as always. And my question for you guys is your favorite moment of the playoffs so far. And that'll go obviously first to Grace, and I hope you chose one. So let's see if you listened.
I chose the entirety of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'd kill you.
No, I'd have to say, and I say this from not a hockey skills analyst perspective, but from a fan's perspective after the past year and a half, I found that the most standout moment for me so far was that Winnipeg-Edmonton overtime game, because it felt like I was watching the playoffs. It felt like I was a fan again. It felt really nice to be up until like 2 a.m. watching this overtime game that really meant nothing to me. But you know, it felt like what it's all about. And I think that from a personal perspective, that was definitely my favorite moment of the playoffs.
I'm gonna go with the Habs coming back from being 3-1 in the series and beating the Leafs in Game 7, and not just because like obviously it's really nice that they beat the Leafs in Game 7. Like, don't get me wrong, but you know, just from this past regular season, a lot of people doubted the team, and I mean, I could say I was one coming into the playoffs, but after being down in the series, they just took it to the next level, a level that I didn't even know they could take it to. So that was kind of reassuring for me. Like, that was really amazing to see. And I'm just really happy they've got this far. So that was just, I think that series, and especially Game 5, was a big turning point. So
great picks, great moments. And I'm sure we're going to have new moments to talk about by the end of these playoffs. If you guys have any favorite moments that you guys want to tweet us about, DM us about, comment on our pictures, whatever you want to do, let us know, and I'm sure we'll be more than happy to read them and maybe mention them in the next episode. But as always, thank you very much for listening, and we'll have some great content in the next upcoming weeks as the games go on. So talk to you guys soon.